My face currently feels like I've been run through by Tom Stewart.
Puts it to the top of the square. Oh, beautiful little fist in there by Dale. Crucial centimetre moments.
He definitely has a bit of the Belcho spirit. As I have a bit of the Belcho spirit.
We are here on the penultimate round of the AFL season, having once again left it up to the last game to qualify for finals. This is The Back Pocket. My name is Jack, your Lathlane enthusiast, and I am joined by Northern Bull Ants, or now Preston Bull Ants' biggest interstate fan, Alistair.
Potentially
fan. No longer existing Preston Bull Ants. They changed their Twitter handle the day they announced they were going extinct. They're like, it's all right, guys, we're Preston.
Yeah. It's depressing because...
like a 150-year-old club.
It feels less urgent because it's VFL, right? People don't care as much, which sucks. But the VFL has essentially been eradicated by the AFL over the past 30 years.
There's too many backup teams in the VFL now for it to make sense.
Yeah. And, like, let's say, Preston doesn't survive. That leaves 20 teams in the VFL, which is a rounder number than they have currently.
And they'll still have 5 buys a week.
Then they'll be putting in Tasmania, and it goes back to uneven.
What is Southport doing there? Other than the fact that they've been very good in Queensland for a long time. They're not from Victoria.
It's
just the Eastern States Football League currently.
Yeah, well, they can't call it the NEFL because that one didn't sound good.
Because it also includes Southeast. It's just the EFL.
But yeah, it would be devastating. Like, I've said this before, as much as I may not like certain teams, I think them folding would be devastating. I really do.
There's history and culture and fan bases here.
You can't just erase North Melbourne.
When he's not working again for 6 years, catches the train out to Preston every weekend to watch those fuckers lose by 100 points. They've got... Every club like that has...
diehards.
Insane diehard fans. Like, I was talking on the weekend when I worked the South Fremantle West Perth game. There is a West Perth supporter who goes to every game and yells unintelligibly at the top of his lungs from start to finish. And
every team has one.
Annoying as it may be, that guy loves that football club, and if West Perth ever folded, it would ruin him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it is a shame.
It's just taking away something that's been there every weekend for half the year, every year for 100 years.
And we just made shirts.
Yeah.
We just made shirts, which are already out of date because I say Northern Bull Ants, but we just made them.
That's fine. It's funnier that it says Bull Ants.
Northern as well. Yeah.
They would play their last game as the Northern Bull Ants, right? So
I think they'll play it as the Preston Bull Ants, their last ever game. Oh no, that was this week. This week was the last ever game.
Yeah.
The AFL season's over.
Yeah.
So they changed their name to never play again. Although they'll probably join the VAFA, I guess. But that wouldn't be quite the same.
No, but at least the club
it means they don't go defunct completely, that it's no longer running the VFL.
Yeah.
Anyway, wrap of last round, we had what we thought was Slot Bowl, which was Slot Bowl. It was just close, which made it a bit more exciting than the other game, where Freo, very Dockery, I think is the term.
Screwed the pooch.
Giants pretty comprehensively beat Gold Coast. Carlton smashed Port.
That was fun to watch for me.
Hawks got out to a 6-goal lead and then kind of stayed there against Melbourne, which is kind of what they did last time too. Adelaide and Collingwood was an absolute cracker of a game. Like, it was so wet that it brought the scoreboard down, but like, it was an insane game to watch. And I feel like it's crazy that this year, of probably what would be the best 10 games I've watched, Adelaide would have played 5 or 6 of them. They play such an exciting brand of football with their rebound game and their goal kickers that, like, it's so fun to watch. Like, their Geelong game was insane. Their Gold Coast game was awesome. The other Collingwood matchup was great. The first showdown was sick.
That no-name defence really holding up for him, huh?
Yeah, that we love. North did a number on Richmond. Sheasel breaks the disposal record. Still doesn't get top 10 for the round in player ratings.
No, 12th.
Disposal efficiency wasn't good enough. Geelong Sydney was good until half-time, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, I distinctly remember you saying within that first quarter that you wanted to fucking kill yourself.
Yeah, that's how I felt. It was how I felt, because all week I was like, this is the one. This is the one that they lose. And I'm still a little bit surprised that they didn't. It was just like, it felt so on brand for them to drop that one. But I guess that was the Cheetah Boys game they dropped a few weeks ago. That was the late season stupid game, because they were awful in that game. And then Bulldogs, West Coast. The only thing goes, I can't believe he didn't win by 100 Bulldogs.
You go, that's a 3-voter for Bont, but it might be too late for that, man.
Yeah. At least he's probably locked in that All-Australian spot despite missing 6 games.
Yeah.
Because his stats are still insane off the games he's played. Like, there is only, I think, 4 players in the 2010 and 1 club. And once again, he's one of them. He's been in it 4 of the last 6 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He's, post-COVID, been the best footballer comfortably.
Yeah.
And was among the best for the 5 years pre-COVID. So, anyway, should we jump into votes first? Get that out of the way?
Do whatever you want, mate.
I want to go to bed. Just an ASMR snoring podcast.
That would be awful.
It would be horrible. My snoring too.
My snoring?
Beth's snoring? It's a lot of snoring in this house. Greg's snoring? He doesn't snore.
Only sometimes does.
All right, so I did the intro, so who's your one?
I'm giving 1 vote to Mark Keane this week.
Mark Keane was my 4 votes this week.
Okay, cool. So you can do some
I have got stats for him. I wrote the Great Wall of Ireland.
That's terrible.
He had 23 disposals, of which 14 were intercepts. He had 13 rebound 50s.
Yep.
659 metres gained, won all 3 of his one-on-ones, 12 rating points. He worked in tandem with Worrell beautifully. They kept Collingwood to 8 goals from 71 inside 50s, which even in the wet is an incredible number. It was the second all-time disparity in more inside 50s than another team to lose a game. So yeah, Mark Keane's my 4 and your 1, which means it's my turn for 1. And my 1 was to the Lizard.
No votes for the Lizard for me.
No votes for the Lizard. It was a strong all-round game in a team that was pretty soundly beaten in the second half. He had 23 disposals, 6 of those were intercepts. He had 11 rebounds and 732 metres gained.
Yeah.
Especially when it looked like he went off with a pretty sore shoulder in the first quarter after he ran into O'Sullivan. His heat map also looked like a dick and balls, so if you get a chance to look that up, that was quite funny. And he had a 16.9 player rating. So Blakey was good.
I still haven't decided who I'm giving my 2 votes to.
Oh, all right.
Which is weird.
Well, that's a shame. Who is it?
I'll go with McKercher. Colby McKercher gets my 2 votes this week.
He is really good.
Yeah. And I feel like, obviously, they've moved Sheasel up the ground more, which obviously worked fucking wonders for them this weekend. But I feel like Colby McKercher is really solid off that half-back line. His kicking's good. He's tough. He doesn't piss around.
Like, I'm not sure his disposal is per se better than Sheasel's, but it feels more damaging off the back flank. Sheasel's more creative, but Colby McKercher just cuts through lines so well. I think that's their better structure, is Sheasel in the mids and McKercher off back line.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't have any notes for him.
I'm not giving any stats.
Give him any votes, but I did also think that he was very good. A lot of them were very good in that game.
It's really hard because I looked at that game and went, oh yeah, Colby McKercher was really good. And then I looked at every player up ahead of the ground of him getting 1,000,000 disposals, 1,000 hit outs.
It was a strange one. A lot of people were like, tackles. Oh, but it was against Richmond. It's like, yeah, but North have been worse than Richmond for the last 8 weeks.
Yeah, they're 2 bottom of the ladder teams. It's
impressive for North because it's a team on their level that they've belted. Yeah. I think it's wrong to discredit North for what is still a good win late in the year when they've had a year that they've had.
Yeah.
It's still a really good win. And the players that they wanted to show things showed things. My 2 votes was to Mason Redman, the Bull. He had...
I've given him 4.
4, all right. So we're swapping the Keane and Redman, I guess. 36 disposals, 9 of those were intercepts. He is so damaging both intercepting and rebounding. He had 9 rebound 50s, 796 metres gained, which I think was the highest for the round. Just the 2 score involvements, but it wasn't a very high-scoring game. And also, Essendon's forward line is often in disarray at the moment with no...
It's just Liam McMahon.
Yeah. Well, Langford was back and he was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he was all right, actually.
But yeah, I thought Redmond was really, really good. And obviously you gave him 4, so you also thought that.
You could say so.
Do you have anything else to add to that?
I wanted to call him the Bull, and then you already did it. So
sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
Lots of red on the ground with St Kilda and Essendon. That's why he played so well.
True.
All right. So your 3?
My 3, and this is controversial because we've been so big on him the last couple of weeks. My 3 is to Harris Andrews.
Okay.
Yeah.
My 5 is to
Harris Andrews. I thought it might be.
I watched that game and he was just.
I really enjoyed how much he was enjoying.
He was having the
defense.
time of his life.
So obviously they kind of smacked Freo, which is huge for them because of like ladder and just like stamping
Both
authority.
of them were really thinking they could win that game and play top four.
But he was celebrating spoils, knocks to the boundary.
Even like Fletcher and...
He loved Leicester being
Leicester
back,
spoils,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Who also probably could have got a vote.
Was really
and
good.
also Fletcher probably could have got
They were
votes.
both very close to me. They're both in my special mentions.
But we've said it every week for like the past 4 weeks. He's the best defender in the league.
Watching him, like we've watched Voss ragdoll people, and he was ragdolling Voss. Like it's not.
Yeah.
He's obviously a better defender than Voss is a forward, but the way he was physically monstering him was incredible because Voss is a solid man.
They've employed Voss as a semi-defensive forward the last couple of weeks. They have been sending him to agitate defenders.
And Andrews loved it because
And
he gets
fed
off on
off
that
it.
kind of stuff.
So it was the wrong move, I think.
Love him or hate him, he's been a prick his whole career. Like he's the wrong kind of person to try and piss off because that's his game. And boy did he love it. Like you said, the spoils and the intercept marks that teammates were taking, he was... I don't know if you saw him behind Chris Fagan at three-quarter time as well, like mouthing what Chris Fagan was saying at the other players to try and make them laugh. He was having like the most fun he's had all year.
Freo.
And again, I think a big part of that was that Leicester was back and playing really well.
Yeah.
But he wasn't doing everything himself. Which I guess leaves my 5, or your my 3, and your 5, I'm assuming is the same guy, which is Sam Taylor.
Sam Taylor's my 5.
Cool, all right.
So we're a bit skew with this week, but it all matches up.
We had a very similar... We only had one person not the same, but just everything else out of order. Sam Taylor was incredible. He forced King right up the ground, which obviously isn't how Gold Coast want to play
also,
football.
we didn't say it, but Harris Andrew had 5 score launches from his 13 disposals or
5
whatever.
score launches and 7 involvements from 17 disposals.
Yeah.
All in the back half of the ground.
Yeah, that's insane.
It was a crazy.
Yeah.
Like, every time
I
he
feel
touched
like we
it, they
should
were like,
bring
we're going to
attention to
score
that.
again. And that's like 2 weeks in a row as well. He's had 7 score involvements from fullback. But yeah, Taylor really forced King up the ground, which obviously isn't how Gold Coast want to play their football, and it really broke their structure. And like in addition to that, had 8 intercepts, 4 intercept marks, won all 4 as one-on-ones.
It was definitely interesting, and I think Sam Taylor is definitely a bit more supported in that back line. But it was definitely interesting to see the difference between the way Wiedering had King the week before, and obviously they swapped around with Lewis Young and it didn't quite work, but he played deep that entire time, and Sam Taylor and Co bringing him up definitely made a difference. He scored 2 goals still, I think.
Yeah, but that is the benefit you get from the players like the Idens and everyone else who can fill in those gaps and really push it up.
Iden, another one who was probably close to getting votes this week, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, my special mentions... to go off that were, we've mentioned Fletcher. I had an exclamation mark next to Fletcher because he was my next closest.
Yeah.
Leicester, O'Sullivan, Pearce, Henry, Dale, and Worrell were my.
I've got Dale and Henry written down for sure.
Geelong's back line looked so much more sound with Henry in it.
It was just a precautionary sub, wasn't it?
The week before he felt tightness and they went, we're not even chancing that, and then he played all of the Sydney game and just he patrols that back line so well. Round highs this week, Anthony Caminiti had 16 spoils.
Yeah, he just does it
a lot. He's just doing that job so well now. Battle left and he just filled in. Keane had 14 intercepts. Blakey, O'Donnell and Pearce all had 5 intercept marks. One-on-ones, Collins, Miller, De Koning and Taylor all had 4 neutralisations, but only De Koning and Taylor had no losses. And Keane also had 13 rebound 50s. And not from kick-ins, they were almost all from intercept marks.
That's what happens when your opponent has 70 inside 50s on you.
Yeah,
and they don't score.
They score 8 goals. So you're bound to get a few rebounds.
Can we go straight into stocks up? Because I don't want you to talk about this.
All right, I won't.
Because it'll just ruin my stocks up. Do you want to do your stocks up first?
No, you can do yours so I don't talk about it.
Okay.
Just in case.
My stocks up is just AFLW.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was a really fun round.
Yep.
The debutants are insanely good.
Yeah, so
the second and third year players are insanely good.
I wrote down a couple of examples right here. Obviously, Zippy Fish debuting and ending up equaling that record. Got that
and
bonus
she was
possession.
Just insane. Like she was so good.
Obviously, it wasn't the game for her, but Ash Centra
took a great mark, kicked a great goal,
but did that awesome bounce pre-game that
and everyone tried to copy. Watching Sam Mitchell do it on his own was really funny. Like,
who was it?
Alistair did it, by the way. I just want to...
I can do it.
Alistair's done it. with a gridiron ball too, which is way harder to bounce.
I was astonished.
Gridiron ball. American football.
Yeah, whatever. Lou Painter kicking 3 goals and just...
So funny. There was only like 1,400 of us at that ground. And Painter's goal song playing over and over and over. Just no crowd noise.
And the West Coast men's team just getting right behind that, the footage, which is awesome. And even just like, I've written down one, for example, from Carlton, players who've been injured that have come back. Fitzpatrick for Carlton kicked 2 goals and looked dynamic.
Really
yep. And the most exciting part about all of it has been that obviously there have been older players that are killing it, but the majority of players I watched tearing apart those games were 24 and under, probably even 22 and under. And that's awesome because they're going to get a year older and a year older and a year older and more come in.
This year is apparently what we've been talking about waiting for. This is the first year where they've been able to play from 5 years old to AFL. And that we've seen that in the players that have debuted. But even like Ella Roberts in her 3rd year, Georgie Prasparkas again is just incredible.
Oh, I've forgotten their name, but they were the debut for Gold Coast. They were really good in that losing side.
Forward, Havana Harris? Is it Harris?
Yeah, it's Harris.
She was insane as well.
Awesome.
That mark she took was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Learning the difference between Beth and my eyesight too when she took that mark. And I'm like on my feet and Beth's like, how the fuck did you see that? I really enjoyed. We were sitting like almost behind the point post at the other end, and most of the goals were scored at the far side, but then most of the crowd was in the grandstand. So I'm seeing the goals go through, and I'm up and cheering, and they're like not cheering until it comes up on the scoreboard. So it was really funny. It's me like 3 seconds before everyone else, like, yeah, and then the crowd going up.
So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. And one benefit about it starting now is we have it during that week off in the AFL men's season, and I hope that people do take a chance to take something.
There were some really exciting games to watch this weekend. The Sydney game was a bit like, it was fun watching how fast the ball was moving from end to end, but North Sydney Oval is too small for football. Like,
and you could see the difference in like some sides, like obviously the probably the Hawthorn Brisbane game.
That was amazing.
That's probably like the benchmark skills wise, but obviously still relatively low scoring. But that's because they're both really good teams. So yeah, I had fun watching what I watched, and I will watch more.
I don't know if you saw when Ash Central kicked that first goal, her brother had got up to pee, and apparently like all 14 of her family members called him a dickhead when he came back to his seat, which is really funny.
That is funny.
Imagine picking that moment. Like,
oh, you got to pee. Nature calls, you know.
And then poor Rowan O'Hare had to play in the slop fest at Fremantle Oval instead of flying over to watch his sister debut for Melbourne on Saturday night. So I felt a bit for him as well. My stocks up was, I had 2 things, sort of. My first was just Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller as poker face. Because every interview he gave in the last week, when he absolutely would have already mostly agreed to the terms of and been ready to sign that contract, gave the indication he was leaving.
Yeah,
it was so non-committal. Like, you'd think you'd give something to the Saints fans. He wasn't giving anything. And then you find out, like, 3 days after that game, he gave that interview that he's signed on.
I wouldn't fucking even think about getting on a plane if someone was offering $2 million a year to me.
No, God, no. Like, I can think about increasing that later. Like, sure, Porter offered me a lot of money over a long term, but think he was offering me a lot of money right now.
$4 million over 2 years is insane.
Apparently, it's similar to the old Dusty and Buddy deals in terms of contract percentage of the cap, but like it's $2 million. So,
oh, okay, I getcha.
Like percentage of cap, it's similar, but like it's $2 million, which is the number that we're like, holy fuck, because like it
does feel like we're reaching.
The first $1 million man was only like 10 years ago. Like, it's crazy.
It feels like we're reaching the torment nexus of AFL contracts. Like, it's getting to the point where rumored like $7 million of St Kilda's cap is going to be going to 4 to 5 players, which seems insane.
Yeah. It does.
But I mean, I guess
but like, again, they don't have like much underneath that to pay.
They're playing
large amounts of money.
Like, they're still playing Philippou.
That's where like everyone talks about how much West Coast offering Reed, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if Reed's worth that much, but they don't have anyone else to give it to, so you might as well lock in a potential future star. So
they're almost their entire forward line outside of Waterman, and obviously Allen will be gone. Will be on peanuts.
Yeah, and they're not too bad at the moment.
No.
Shanahan was still doing really cool things in a massive loss the other night. I think that there's a massive future with him. My other stocks up was just Maynard's reaction to the ban discussion.
Yes.
Like, it was one of the more sensible responses I've seen.
Credit where credit's due for a player that we don't vibe with very well.
I was saying to Beth the other day, I was like, it's really interesting that, especially watching that documentary a couple of years ago about the Pride in Sport investigation with the AFL and the report they received, that like Collingwood, a club that struggled so much with racism shit over the years, has really been pretty good on the homophobia stuff in the same time frame.
Yeah.
Like it's almost jarring to see the opposites because they've really had like quite a strong support for their queer fans. They've done a lot of stuff for their women's football team in the time they've been there. They don't promote them that well, but like the facilities are obviously great. And then like for the whole Collingwood team to, rally behind that and Maynard to come out straight away and be so well spoken on the stuff was really good. So what's your stocks down? Because
before I get into stocks down, I have stocks frozen.
Oh, holding.
Fremantle. There will be no buying and there will be no selling.
You don't know until after this weekend.
Until Sunday. If they lose, those stocks have to be sold.
Longmuir
has to be under pressure. They will keep him into next year.
It's really interesting that, like, now given the exact season they've had, that contract they gave him looks like it was the exact right contract to give him.
It's... And I'm seeing a lot of Fremantle fans saying they're wasting their list. Their list is still super
very young.
So if they need to get a new coach, they can, and it will likely be fine. And I think you'll find that most new premiership coaches get their flag within 4 years of being there. And that's not always the case. Obviously, Damien Hardwick was longer.
Thompson,
and you look at someone like Matthew Nicks right now, who's slaying the game. He's been there for, 6 years? Since pre-COVID, I think. Yeah. So it's not a hard and fast rule, but it usually is the case. Yeah. You look at Simpson, you look at Bevo, Scott, they all... Scott was crazy. McRae.
Scott's was like... I kind of talked about it the other day with like... We've gotten to a point where people online are so young now, they don't remember how insanely good that Collingwood team was, and that their only weakness was Chris Scott.
Yeah.
Like, they had no other... he just came in and he was the kryptonite to a generational Collingwood team. And then took another 11 years to win a flag.
Thank God. But yeah, I'm freezing the stock on Freo.
Yeah.
It's not doom and gloom. They've got like one of the best ruck combos in the game. They've got an insane midfield. They've got 3 tall forwards who are killing the game. Pierce, Cox, and Ryan work well. Clark's great off half back. Their wings are set. I'm not concerned for them, but they are finding it very hard to win these games when all the heat is on.
I made a very stupid little table the other day. It wasn't even all of the games that I could put in this category, but it was just 6 games that I think really summed up the fact that Freo have maybe had the most "we're so back, it's so over" season I've ever seen. So, start of the year, they lose to Geelong by 78 points.
Yes. And if Murphy Reid hadn't kicked 4 goals in 10 minutes...
Could have been a lot worse.
Would have been a 100-point loss.
A month later, they beat Adelaide in Perth by 3 goals.
That was a wet game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been, but Freo still scored pretty heavily thanks to Voss starting to kick goals and Tracy kicking a bag. 2 weeks after that, they lose to St Kilda by 61 points.
That's painful.
A couple of weeks after that, they go to the Gold Coast and beat the Gold Coast on the Gold Coast, which no one's been able to do this year, except for Freo. Then they beat Collingwood at the MCG in a Collingwood game.
Yeah.
And then they lose to Brisbane by as much as they did the other night.
At home.
Like, none of those results mesh together for one season. Like, it doesn't...
Flip them all around, they'd be in the same spot, but it would make more sense.
But it would make more sense, yeah. Like, it's a weird year. Like, even not beating Geelong in Geelong, but getting closer than they did, because they're a much better team than that. But, like, yeah, you swap the St Kilda and Adelaide results, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. But it doesn't otherwise, does it? Like, it's...
They've got good role players, too.
Or at least, like, with the Bulldogs, sure, they're middling, but, like, they've had close losses to good teams, and they've beaten bad teams.
Yeah, it makes sense there,
You can track that. But like Fremantle,
they're playing like an 8th or 9th side,
absolutely all over the place.
So yeah, they've got good role players like Wagner and Warner.
They've got great top end talent.
It just astounds me that Longmuir is struggling to get the most out of them. When they're on, they look on.
He changed. Like, it's not the same problem they had last year where they're playing too slow. Like, they're playing fast, exciting football when they're on. Just on the weekend, they couldn't hit a target. Like, every time they went forward, it was just...
I really hope Brisbane this time next week we can say, fuck yeah, Freo, good on you.
Yeah, and they've moved up to 7th and they're,
there's this sinking feeling in every Freo supporter I've talked to.
Especially when I made that joke like weeks ago when I was like, last year you were in the exact same spot, the same position from top spot, and now, anyway, I just watched it happening, unfolding slowly and been like, oh no.
So that stock's frozen.
Both Freo and Bulldogs fans are feeling deja vu.
Oh, yeah,
it's not, both of them are sitting here like...
Dogs have done it, they did that Eagles loss whenever. My stocks down is also AFLW related, and it is just in regards to KO/Fox Footy. I sat waiting for
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes for the pre-game. For the first AFLW game for the season, Fox had nothing. They aired not even ads, like, which is probably would be worse, but just a screen
Just
of
that,
3D
"We'll be with you
footballs
soon."
and
Cricket balls and rugby.
and it was awful. Swapped to Channel 7. They're interviewing players. They're talking to the coaches. It was so much better. Actual coverage. And then when I got annoyed by an ad on Channel 7, I flicked to Fox Footy. They're just showing the exact same footage with the exact same commentators. They offered nothing. And I think that's pretty piss poor from, after all this code war over the last 6 months that we've had to put up with, them flinging shit at each other. They don't even give a fuck. So, points to Channel 7 on that one.
Absolutely. They actually did coverage, and also most of the games were just the Channel 7 commentary.
Yep.
Which Fox said they weren't doing, but now it's women's, they don't care about that anymore.
Yeah.
And again, it's such a shame, because some of those games were awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Like, the skills are developing at such a rapid rate. I don't know if you saw Daisy Pearce's pre-game, when she was saying, like,
Oh, yeah, she was...
unrecognisable from when she debuted 10 years ago in the AFL. Like, she was saying, even at training, when she's getting players to, like, kick the ball to her, she's like, the skills are
way better.
Like,
and, like, it's even good to see, people from, the men's program getting around it, even to, like, Razor Ray only doing women's game now.
I think the really interesting part is, like, it shows that everyone who actually is passionate about football loves the women's footy.
Yeah.
Like, it really, like, that is the real answer, isn't it? Like, it's only dickheads who are loud about it. Because the people who love footy...
men's teams are there supporting them. Mm-hmm. They train together. They have the same facilities.
And you can see how much they're enjoying watching the game as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're being held hostage. Like, they're having a great time.
Thank you for joining the Stealth AFLW podcast.
Yeah. I wrote, just so I can put this first page away, it's really funny. I was like, my weekend rap was, AFLW was fun, Central stuff was sick, and Leicester's goal was very cool. I really enjoyed watching Leicester kick his third goal in his career.
I knew I had to get in stocks down before you talked about it. So.
My stocks down sucks, but it's just the wider community's reaction to the Rankin ban. It's cut and dry. You don't say slurs, even if you've been antagonised. If you say a slur, you get banned.
Yeah, I don't think there's like, you can call them something bad. I don't know. Have we? Oh, surely we've said the C word on this podcast.
I think we definitely have, yeah.
Just call him that.
My thing is, like, if you're being antagonised by Dan Houston for him hitting you in the head, you remind him that his team probably lost finals because he hit you in the head. Like, you're the reason your team lost finals last year, Dan. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, they might have beaten Sydney if Houston was playing. And they might have lost to Brisbane by 100 points on grand final day.
Initially, it really looked like Adelaide were taking this seriously. They said, yep, he done the wrong thing. We'll take it on the chin,
Even
blah, blah,
all the
blah.
messaging out through, like, club mouthpieces was very like, yep, he's done the wrong thing. I even thought, and, like, I did agree with a lot of people that Tex was the wrong person to be talking about it, but he has a regular Triple M spot. What he said on that show wasn't wrong.
No.
He said, like, he's done the wrong thing, he's going to get a ban and they all understand that, but obviously he's their teammate, so they're getting around him. For him.
Yeah.
That was the right thing to say in that circumstance, which is crazy because
since, and it's
Dawson
Wednesday.
and Fogarty couldn't be that good.
Well, Fogarty looks like he doesn't really
Now
have
they're,
a
like,
head
asking...
cell.
Well, yeah, I think his brain cell goes, can I mark this? Can I kick this? That's his whole... but yeah, like, the AFL's now giving them another day.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, and we still don't know the ban. When every other time there's been a homophobic slur said, the next day we know, like, they're gone for 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Eddie Maguire said was right, and usually he's not someone who says stuff that's just made up.
Yeah, his son told him.
The Adelaide Crows were presented with a 5-week ban, and they're arguing it. So, like, the AFL's said, like, this is the ban you're expected to receive.
So...
and they're giving a range of weird arguments. And I think it's my biggest problem is there's a line to draw, right, where if it was a Dan Houston type suspension, we're in a competition where you're trying to win. So you do everything in your power, even if you believe the player should be suspended for what they've done, if it's a king hit or something, you do everything in your power to get them to play in the grand final if that gives you the best chance to win the grand final. But this is different because you have queer fans and you've got queer players and you've got queer people who work at your club, and to bring this down in level is disrespectful to them. Like, that's my biggest problem with it. It's like, there are people who support your club who this is offensive to and hurtful to, and you're trying to talk it down because you want to win.
Yeah, and it's not like a bump. Like, something that can happen in a split second, you've made a poor decision and it genuinely is an accident. This is a racial, not a racial slur, a homophobic slur, which you don't just casually drop. So it must be part of the language. Isaac Rankin's been in the system for 7 years.
It's one that when you hear it, it's like whiplash now because it's so not commonplace.
So 7 years, which means 7 pre-seasons at least, where he would have had sensitivity training. So he knows it's not like, oh, we should not suspend him. We should give him sensitivity training, make sure it doesn't happen again. He's had it. All AFL players have it, and clearly they're just not taking it in because this is the 6th one in 2 years.
Obviously, when I did my run earlier this year, my fundraising was for Pride in Sport because that's the shit they do, is like trying to improve those education programs. But there's also only so much you can do if players don't care, right? Like, I think a great example of that is Dimmer going on AFL 360 and be like, well, what can we and can't we say? Slurs, Dimmer. You can't say slurs. It's very simple. Like, we all know what the words that are not acceptable to say are, right? Like, it's not like he said a borderline offensive term. He said a word that would get you banned off of most websites on the internet if you typed it out. Like, it's not blurry at all.
Yeah, if you go on the news and you have to refer to it as an F slur, which obviously Channel 9 did not do.
They did not do. They bleeped it out.
You can't say it.
As I said, they bleeped 1.5 of the G's from the word. You heard the whole thing. But yeah, it's like the old joke, like the if you're comparing 2 words and you won't say one of them, that one's worse.
So say it.
Right, like that's exactly it. So, like, if you're trying to argue that it's totally fine, right, well, you go on live TV or in your workplace and you say it to your boss, and we'll see how it works out for you. Because if it doesn't work out good, it's probably not a word you should be saying in public.
No.
Yeah. So
that's
my other
enough.
notes
That's enough on woke football.
Dimmer, shut the fuck up. We just touched on that. Bull Ants going down. I did want to quickly. If you have anything you can spare to help them out, there is a donation link on our Twitter, on Leo Puglisi's Twitter, on the Bull Ants Twitter to try and help. They're trying to do some stuff to keep the club afloat. It's unlikely, but if you want to do that, we'll look into that. They're going to try some other things as well, so just keep your eyes out. Maybe there'll be scarves.
Do you reckon we could ask Wanganeen Miller to spare a
Give
crumb?
some of his money. He could probably help him out.
He could probably own the team.
And then I wrote Docker's Dogs Deja Vu for both clubs, obviously.
It's thrilling football. It's going to be an exciting Sunday.
It is. We'll move on to the games of the week in a minute.
Is that the one? No, do you want to do tips this week?
We'll do tips, yeah. And then I was going to say, imagine if like all of this stuff with Rankin dragging out the way it has, and Crows lose to North on the weekend.
Would be funny.
And lose top spot. I don't think they can lose second, can they? I don't think Brisbane
No, I don't think they can.
That is, yeah. But anyway, it would be really funny.
It's all what ifs and.
Actually, where's my phone? We're
going to do ladder predictor live on the podcast.
No, I was just going to see if they're because Brisbane's got a half game, so the percentage doesn't matter. But I think are they 1.5 behind? Yeah, so they can't. They can only drop out of first. So it just changes who they play in the first week. But it would be crazy.
So tips. Who are you tipping out of Essendon and Carlton?
I am tipping Carlton.
I am also tipping Carlton. Who are you tipping out of Collingwood and Melbourne?
Which is, I want to say, a bad sign for Carlton because I think I've tipped them correctly twice this year. I'm tipping Collingwood.
I'm tipping Melbourne.
Okay.
You're tipping Port Adelaide or Gold Coast?
I'm tipping the Gold Coast.
I'm tipping Port Adelaide.
But if Ken can get... We know how Port play for Ken.
Yeah.
It's his last game. It's at home. It's Boak's last game.
Coming out in the week...
Could you imagine if Gold Coast have to go into that Essendon game next Wednesday needing to win to make finals?
Oh, that'd be funny.
It'd be insane. Anyway.
North and Adelaide?
I'm tipping Adelaide.
I'm tipping North.
Oh, I bet you are.
Richmond, Geelong.
I'm tipping Geelong.
I'm tipping Richmond.
All right.
West Coast, Sydney.
I'm tipping Sydney.
I'm tipping West Coast.
All right.
GWS St Kilda.
I'm tipping the Giants.
I'm tipping St Kilda.
Okay.
Bulldogs Freo.
Well, I'm tipping the Bulldogs.
I'm tipping Freo. Brisbane Hawthorn.
This is a tough one.
This is the only one I've tipped genuinely.
This is a
Carlton as
really tough one because it's like Brisbane aren't good in Brisbane anymore.
No.
They're good everywhere else.
I've tipped Hawthorn because
Hawthorn are really good against Brisbane.
Yeah.
I've tipped Brisbane.
I've tipped Hawthorn. But that and Carlton are my two genuine, I actually think
they'll win.
This will win.
Yeah, so my game of the week is clearly
Wednesday. It's Gold Coast Essendon.
As the term has been coined, the pre-elimination final.
Pre-elimination.
It is really it's just an extra elimination final round. But Lions Hawks is enormous, and then like I said, if Port can get up against Gold Coast, it means that game against Essendon is actually for some beans. There's some beans left in the can when that game gets played if Gold Coast lose to Port.
Have they got any more debutants to play in that game,
Essendon? I think they're almost out. I think they might have one left.
Yeah.
So they played Unwin, and they did not win.
I haven't played Davey Jr. this season, so they could.
That's true.
They could drop him in for a game.
They could bring up the numbers of total players. I'm not sure if they've got any fit debutants, but it would be interesting because I love that they reached the record and they were like, "We're going way past it. We're just going to keep going." And that was that second half was like because it was so tight and both teams were just so desperate to win that game. Also, St Kilda, stop winning late season games when
I need them to win again this week.
I know, I get it. It's good. Winning is good culture.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
But they've lost themselves multiple spots in the draft 2 years in a row by starting winning once the season is completely over. Last year they did it and everyone talked them up because of their form late in the year. And we said the same thing. We're like, no, because it doesn't matter anymore. And then this year it's been the exact same. They were bottom 4 until they couldn't make the finals.
Yeah, that's why I have this feeling
and
that
then they've started winning
games
games
this week.
Obviously they beat Geelong and Freo earlier in the year. That's what Ross Lyon does. Like, that wasn't a surprise to any Geelong or Freo fans earlier in the year when that happened. I think the Freo margin was a surprise to people. But yeah, it's frustrating. But Wanganeen Miller signing with them isn't just good for them who desperately need him. Ross Lyon even talked about it. He was like, the club would have been in disarray without him there. And it was really interesting to see him speaking so like openly about basically his future as a coach hanging on Wanganeen Miller staying there for a couple more years. But also that it's just, it would have sucked for St Kilda, who have already been so bad this year, to lose who is probably a top 5 player in the competition in terms of match winning ability right now.
Yeah.
Like if you take him out, it gets very grim very quickly for them. They'll want to hope they get King back. I remember us really doubting he would be ready for round 1 when they said he would be, and then he just didn't play at all. Like, I didn't think it was that bad, but I remember being like, I don't think he's going to be ready for it. And not one game
It's
out of
definitely
him.
one of the things we got right pre-season, unlike our ladders.
Unlike our ladder, with me with 0 teams in the right spot so far. But like, I think we've both picked 6 of the finals.
Yeah.
8, so that's not too bad.
It's
Sydney are going to be 2 spots out. So, yeah, whoever makes it, Bulldogs or Freo, we've still picked 6 of the final 8. They're one of the teams. Unless Gold Coast miss, in which case we've both picked 7 of the final 8.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
They got 2 games they could lose this week.
Imagine that would be insane, actually.
That would be very crazy.
If we managed that. It would just be Collingwood and Carlton the whole way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have anything else? I think that's me. I think I'm
rolls
done.
down my face. Do I have anything else? No, next week's big one. Should we do like all Australian Smokies next week or something?
Yeah, we could probably do that. Run that as
like
a
obviously
segment.
we're not going to roll the whole team. That's 22
I
names
think
we'd have
we're
to roll off.
Last year it was just Heaney or Dacos that could win the Coaches Award, and that wasn't very interesting. This year it's like 7 people who, like, Dacos and Smith would have both gotten votes on the weekend. Dacos between 6 and 10.
Dawson?
Smith 8 to 10. Dawson probably didn't get votes on the weekend, but he was on top before that. Rowell and Anderson wouldn't have got votes on the weekend, but they've got an extra
2
game
games,
to the
yeah.
others. So, like, that top bunch is, like, so close. I think it's really, Richards is still up there. Holmes was, like, in 6th as well, and he would definitely have also, well, not on the weekend, but, like, it's really interesting to see how that's going to pay out, and it's why it makes that 2-week embargo more interesting, because we don't know how those players pan out.
I think
this
last
week.
year it was literally just Cripps and Dacos who were right at the top, and that's all we were
And
waiting on.
Heaney could have won it. But he got...
Oh, yeah.
He got Heaney'd, and then he did his apology video. It's one of the... Look, people want to make fun of Heaney for the Instagram follow. Make fun of Heaney for that apology video. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Apologising for the fans for not winning a Brownlow. Shut the fuck up, Heaney.
Oh.
Put your fucking
makes me cringe
weird
thinking
Ken doll
about it.
face away. Footy, eh? I'm totally out of things to talk
Is that
about.
the name of the podcast?
It's got to be the
Footy, eh?
episode name, doesn't it? Footy, eh? Or shut the fuck up, Dimmer. We're burnt out at the moment because we've just learnt we might be totally moving premises this weekend. And we learnt it a few hours ago.
Yeah.
So maybe the podcast will sound better next week, not being in the middle of the house.
Maybe it'll just be so late because we won't have
Or
internet.
there just won't be one. We just disappear into the ether and
Fizzle
never
out.
hear from us ever again. But thank you for joining us again.
what I wanna do.
We've got another round of votes and notes, and I don't know how we're going to do it next week with the extra
votes
Gold Coast
and notes.
game. But we'll figure it out.
Okay, we give 5 through 1 for the first 9 games, and
then
then
we
we
just
give a
give
5
1
through 1 for
just
just
that
the
game?
Gold Coast Essendon game.
So Sam Collins can still win.
He can still win if he gets 10. He gets 20 votes.
Mason Redmond.
He would have to retroactively score votes.
I don't think anyone else in those teams can do it. It's just Collins. He'd be high enough to get 20 and win. I think we'll just count that in the round, and Gold Coast players can just get their best. I don't know.
Or do you reckon what we do is we retroactively add them to
To
the previous round? If someone was better,
We go to the opening round original ones.
let's see if I have my opening round votes. If I don't, we're done.
and we just see if we push someone back, and they lose their 1 vote.
I got round 1.
Look, if
I
Gold
don't have
Coast,
opening round.
if Gold Coast Essendon goes as expected, no one's getting votes in that game. But if it doesn't, who knows? But yeah, thank you for joining us again. We'll see you next week.